The 15th season of Morehead City Marlins baseball has came and went. Lance Williams here alongside Christian Dahms and Trey Kenas. A fun 15 years of fame celebration here at Big Rock Stadium and across the Coastal Plain League. Christian, unfortunately, the final 3 games of this season were canceled due to rain. 2 days ago at Wilson, last night, and then tonight. A disappointing season, but overall a fun year.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well call it the Coastal Rain League, right, with how many of these games got canceled. But you're absolutely correct, Lance. A really fun season of Marlins baseball. You know, you could point to the slide that this team had towards the end of the season, but bigger picture, that's not really what summer ball is about. We could talk about the Pettit Cup chase, all this other stuff. The main reason why guys come to places like Morehead City is for the chance to get better. And I think we saw that from quite a few guys on this Morehead City roster. You think to a guy like Jackson Bergman, didn't do so well in his first start, but towards the end of his time here on the Crystal Coast, really morphed into one of the best Marlins starters. And there's a reason why he's going to be playing Big Ten baseball next season for the Indiana Hoosiers. He's going to ball out. Of course, we can point to a guy like Nate Anderson as well. Just such a fun player to watch. As of right now, still the league leader in batting average, batting .402. There was a point in the season where Tanner Malley was batting above .500. I mean, we could really just go down the line of just how many great moments these players had throughout the season. And I think that's one of the things that makes summer ball so fun, is that guys have their moments at different points throughout the year. And yeah, I mean, Morehead City, they certainly had a lot of dudes on the roster.
Talk about guys like Jackson Bergman using the Marlins as a stepping stone to get to the next level, whether it be collegiately and also guys drafted, such as Danny Thompson Jr., the righty. He was drafted to the Toronto Blue Jays in the 8th round, and then Brody Popple, the catcher from Florida A&M, drafted in the 14th round by the San Francisco Giants. A lot of development done here in Morehead City. Trey, he mentioned the 5-game losing streak that this season ends upon. Disappointing that they didn't get the opportunity to break that, but still, this season had a world of positives. You look back to the 7-game winning streak that they had in June, there were a lot of bright spots in 2025.
I mean, absolutely, Lance, and right, the goal is, right, you want to be able to win a championship at the end of the summer, but unfortunately not every team can win the championship. It's just one. So you kind of go back to what Christian talked about and just the improvement you saw from the variety of guys. Obviously, you mentioned the 2 guys that got drafted, and then a couple of guys, right, who went from smaller schools to bigger schools. Jake Kramer to Purdue, as you mentioned, Jackson Bergman to Indiana. So that's something really that, again, we talk about winning games, and that's really important, but also for these guys, it's really just about taking that next step, and we saw that with the guys over the course of the summer. We saw that in the 7-game winning streak in the month of June. I mean, that was arguably probably the most fun stretch you could say of the summer, when you're just blowing teams out. This offense was really playing at a high level. The pitching was also, coming together, a complete team. We talk about complementary baseball. We really saw that in the month of June. So I think you look back on the summer and you're right, it didn't end the way you wanted it to, but still, there was still a bunch of memories and a bunch of improvement from these guys. And I think, you talked to Sam Carroll earlier today as well, and he mentioned that, you're going to miss this group of guys because this is a team that really cared about each other. You talk about high character, high class guys, at some point the ball is going to stop bouncing, right? Baseball is going to be over, and these guys are going to have to go on and face the real world, right, as we call it. And I think, I'm no judge of character, right, between any of us, but at the end of the day, I'm confident these guys are going to go out and be successful men in their lives because they truly care about one another, and the level of respect and amount of fun that they had just being around each other speaks volumes about this group. And I think, to me, that's what I enjoyed the most, is you just knew that these guys were down-to-earth, humble individuals who really played for the love of the game.
It was a great group that we had here in Morehead City for this 2025 season, and it was led by Coach Sam Carroll in his 5th season with the team. And yes, we got to speak to him earlier today. We're here with Coach Carroll. The season's over. How was this year for you?
Up and down. Obviously, this was a club that was in first place for a little while earlier this year in the first half, and then we took a nosedive there at the end. But you're here with all these guys. These guys have been great. Really appreciative of all the guys that stuck around throughout the summer, and we made great memories with them. And at the end of the day, it's still baseball on the beach, so it's always a fun summer.
Yeah, tough end to the season. The final 3 games were canceled due to weather, but what was your favorite part about this year?
Ooh, on the spot. Just developing new relationships with new guys and continuing the relationships with guys that we've had in years past. And that's always that's always near the top of the list of every year we have, regardless if we're, winning championships or if we have a finish like we did this year. Just developing those relationships with all these guys is always one of the favorite parts of the year.
I know we asked you this when it happened, but you're now the winningest coach in Morehead City Marlins history. What does that mean to you after having some time to reflect on it?
I get the question. It's a good question. Really not a lot. Each time I get asked that, I keep thinking about Jesse Lancaster and, the run that he had here in Morehead City. I think of guys like Jason Wood, who was here for a few years, Jamie Sheets, who brought me here, back in 2013. All these guys were former head coaches here. I just think of all the managers that we've had here over the years, and to be part of a group like these gentlemen are a part of is very humbling, and I'm honored to be part of this managerial group here in Morehead City.
Well, Coach, thank you for this interview and all the stuff that you've helped us with.
Appreciate it. It was a great time. It was a great summer, and we'll be back next year. We're going to be competing for championships and looking forward to that already.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
The People's Champ is a familiar face here in Morehead City, but there was a new coaching staff this season. Jalen Mack, first year with the team, the hitting coach. We got to talk to him about this experience. We're here with Marlins hitting coach Jalen Mack. Jalen, the season's over. It was your first time coaching. How was this experience for you?
It was an amazing experience. I learned a lot, not just about coaching, just about life, myself, trying to grow up a little bit, get out of the player mode. So I learned a lot from the guys. I learned a lot from Coach Sam Carroll, even the assistant coach, Josh Plisco. So it was a great experience.
Last season, the team hit 238. This season, they hit 263. They hit more homers. It was an increase in offensive output. How did you feel that the team did offensively?
It's a great thing to put on my resume, but to be honest, these guys were phenomenal, man. It had nothing to do with me. These guys are great athletes, and a lot of these guys are going to go on to be good coaches, good indie ball players, wherever they want. They're going to be great at it. So it had nothing to do with me. These are just phenomenal athletes.
Okay, and then now looking back at this summer, what was your favorite part about it?
All-Star game was pretty cool. Even though we were like alternates, but the All-Star game was pretty cool. The trip, Macon, they made it one heck of an experience. So I would say the All-Star game.
Well, Jalen, it's been fun. Thank you. And you can't forget Josh Plisco, a 2024 Marlin turned 2025 Marlins pitching coach. It was fun to have him leading this pitching staff, and we spoke to him about his first year as an assistant.
We're here with Marlins pitching coach Josh Plisco. And Coach, it wasn't your first summer in Morehead City per se as an individual, but your first as a coach. How was that experience for you?
It was great. It's everything I wanted it to be. I mean, being back home is a blessing, but being around those guys is an even bigger blessing. So it's been a great time.
You pitched last summer for the Marlins, but you were in that coaching position. What was that transition like for you, and kind of what was the biggest difference that stood out to you?
It was a hard transition. I mean, just wrapping up playing and getting into coaching, trying to get going. But I mean, we had a plan from the start, and we followed the plan pretty well. And all the guys did everything I asked, so I couldn't complain about anything.
And so, as the summer comes to a close, what was your favorite memory that you experienced with the group this year?
Ooh, that's a hard one. But I think I would have to say all the Moth games. I think that really stands out. J-Mac's big part in those Moth games.
Appreciate the shout out to hitting coach Jalen Mack. Appreciate the time, Coach, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you.
And one of the 6 All-Stars that this team had, Nate Anderson, an electric playmaker in center field, the outfielder from Kennesaw State. We spoke to him earlier about his second season in Morehead City.
Christian Dahms here with Marlins outfielder Nate Anderson. I mean, what a season for you. Finishing the season batting above 400, one of the best hitters in the entire league this whole season. Did any numbers that you produced this year kind of surprise you at all?
I would say I walked a lot more than I struck out, and that has been a goal for 5 years of mine, and to in my last summer be able to finally kind of do that and go 2-to-1 in that ratio is awesome for me.
Of course, this being your second summer with the Marlins, head coach Sam Carroll, he's talked about you a lot after the game, saying how great of an outfielder you are. You know, now your second summer with him as your head coach. How has your relationship with him grown over these past couple of years?
It's awesome. It's just like over time we develop trust with each other. I mean, on and off the field. On the field, like he trusts me to do what I can do, and then off the field, if I ever need anything, I'd call him. He'd pick up right away. So it's just a cool dynamic to have, and it makes playing the game a whole lot easier.
There's definitely been a lot of highlight moments from you this season, but is there anyone in particular that sticks out to you, or maybe one from the team in general?
One for me, I hit a homer, I think, last Friday against the Sharks in a long at bat, and that was a big game, and that one felt good. For the team, the trip to Boone and Martinsville in general was just a great time with the guys, staying overnight, and just continuing to grow that bond. So I'll just say that trip to Boone in general.
You also had the trip to Macon as well. That was another
Macon.
pretty long one.
So Macon was fun, but it was a little further than Boone. Yeah.
For sure. And now, your college career coming to a close. What are some of the biggest memories you're going to look back on throughout your time?
There's plenty of like individual big wins and like personal big moments I can point out, but honestly, just being on the bus with the guys, playing games on the bus, hanging out in BP, talking with the guys in the dugout, and then really just like looking back how much I learned from the guys next to me, and as I matured and got older, being willing to take advice from them and learn from them. Looking back, it's like I got so much better just by having conversations with the guys. So I'm gonna miss that, but as I stay in baseball, look forward to continuing to do it.
Well, Nate, congrats on an awesome collegiate career and with the Marlins as well. Best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
So many fun experiences with those coaches, Nate Anderson, and this entire team. Christian, what was your first or favorite experience here in Morehead City?
I mean, Lance, I talked about it earlier. It's just so hard to choose just one, but right now, going off the top of my head, I think that July 4th game at Tri-City, that was just a really fun game to watch. A lot of highlight moments from the Marlins, especially that home run from Nick Surse. He had a pretty good second year with Morehead City as well, tied for the team lead with 5 home runs, and that one he had against the Chili Peppers, oh man, was it a no-doubter. And then another one from back in June, the immaculate inning from Jay Kramer. I mean, how many of those do you see in baseball, no less in summer ball as well? Jake, a guy who, it's a shame, he had an early exit from this Morehead City team. He's playing over at Purdue next year, and hey, if he can produce innings like he had that night at Buck Hardy Field against the Sharks, hey, he might be in for a really good season with the Boilermakers.
One of a couple guys who are making the jump to the Division I level or just transferring to a different school. And yes, so many fun memories. You talk about plays. Remember the Ronan Donahue walk-off at this ballpark against Forest City in June. Unfortunately, the only walk-off win that this team had, but it was a fun one. Trey, what about you? What was your favorite moment?
I mean, you almost stole my thunder there, Lance, talking about the Ronan Donahue walk-off. You go back to that game over, of course, that 7-game winning streak at Holly Springs, Donahue having that go-ahead home run at Ting Stadium. To me, that one really stood out because you talk about that winning streak, and for me, really, as much as it is great to win games, it's how you win the games, too. Just a lot of dramatic victories for Morehead City. You go back to those games against Forest City and Holly Springs, really, where it just felt like it's just a story that's larger than life, right? That's why you broadcast the game, to tell stories, and it felt like the stories really were able to come together and complete themselves. And unfortunately, right, you mentioned that the season didn't go the way it wanted to, but I feel like for me, it was just the fact that this group really stuck together and didn't quit regardless of the circumstances. You go back to Thursday's game against Wilson. I know that people probably didn't tune into that one. It was only an inning and a half. But, this is a team that put up 6 runs through 2 innings, right? And that's a team that, again, you talk about being eliminated from playoff contention. You talk about, team guys looking forward to getting back home. This team just didn't really quit. They never really packed their bags until the final bell rang. And I think, to me, that's my favorite memory about this group is it's just a group that love to play. And they love to be with each other. And they love to be able to just compete every night. And I think that, to me, was a true blessing to be a part of over the course of the summer.
It absolutely was. It was fun to watch this team gel together. Guys from all over the country combined to form the Morehead City Marlins. It's a grind this summer, day after day, but then here we are in August, and it looks like the season just blew right past us. My favorite moment was just spending time with the guys, these guys and the players, whether it be the long bus rides, going to Boone was awesome, and then calling their games. It's been a tremendous privilege for all of us to tell the stories of this team, getting to know these players, and getting to represent this organization. It's been a fun time here in Morehead City, the 15th season of Marlins baseball, 15 years of fame. Unfortunately, coming to a close, their final 3 games get rained out. That's North Carolina. But for the final time, I'm Lance Williams. with Christian Dahms and Trey Kenas, your Morehead City Marlins broadcasting crew for the 2025 season, saying goodbye from Big Rock Stadium.